Hey, what up, beautiful people? Happy Wednesday. This is take two. Maybe a message that somebody's trying not for you to get. But anyway, got up, said my prayers today, and asked God what He wanted me to read or where He wanted me to go. And so I guess I'm continuing in Romans. So this is Romans 1, starting at 18. God's anger at sin. I told you my Bible, like when I open it up, the little titles be so clear. Like the title is enough to tell me what, the answer for what I'm dealing with. But anyway, but God shows his anger from heaven against all wicked people who suppress the truth by their wickedness. They know the truth about God because he has made it obvious to them. For ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and sky. Through everything God has made, they can clearly see his invisible qualities. Period. He's saying all of y'all should know him based on the fact that there's a sky, you see in the earth, things like that. Let's see. His eternal power and divine nature. So they have no excuse for not knowing God. Yes, they knew God, but they wouldn't. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. They knew God, but they wouldn't work with each other's bodies. I don't. I'm I hope I see. Sorry, I'm tripping. They knew God, but they wouldn't worship Him as God or even give Him thanks. And they began to think of foolish ideas of what God was like. As a result, the minds became dark and confused, claiming to be wise. They instead became utter fools. And instead of worshiping the glorious, ever living God, they worship idols made to look like mere people and birds and animals and reptiles. So God abandoned them to do whatever shameful things their hearts desired. As a result, they did vile and degrading things. Okay, so that's when I'm supposed to turn the page. Got it. With their bodies. I'm sorry, with each other's bodies. They traded the truth about God for a lie. So they worshiped and served the things God created instead of the Creator Himself, who is worthy of eternal praise. Amen. That is why God abandoned them to their shameful desires. Even the women turned against the natural way to have sex and instead indulged in sex with each other. And men, instead of having normal sexual relations with women, burned with lust for each other. Men did shameful things with other men, and as a result of this sin, they suffered within themselves the penalty they deserved. Since they thought it foolish to acknowledge God, He abandoned them to their foolish thinking and let them do things that should never be done. Their lives became full of every kind of wickedness, sin, greed, hate, envy, murder, quarreling, deception, malicious behavior, and gossip. They are backstabbers, haters of God, insolent, proud, and boastful. They invent new ways of sinning. That's crazy. Invent new ways of sinning. And they disobey their parents. They refuse to understand, break their promises, are heartless, and have no mercy. They know God's justice requires that those who do these things deserve to die, yet they do them anyway. Worse yet, they encourage others to do them too. That is deep. That is so deep. I was talking to my daughter about a video I saw yesterday. And it's so interesting because in that video, the person said, I didn't want to do that stuff, God. Like they was telling me to do that. And I guess they were making like a spoof about themselves or whatever. But even the word saying this, but this is the word, man. And like we can't change it. We can't, like, if you try to change it, that's cool. I mean, it's not cool, but it's up to you. But God just gonna leave you to your ways, of changing it and going astray. He's not gonna force you to follow him. But anyway, deep words coming from the Father himself. Um, Listen, just for anybody who's out there that's listening, this is what the word says. Love y'all. Happy Wednesday. Love and peace. Love and peace.